Oh, what is going on, everybody?
What's with the green screen?
You're not supposed to see that. What happened? Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
it's like those YouTube videos where you see the people wearing green suits and they're holding things while horses are pretending to run.
Wow. All right. There you go.
All right. There we
Just
go.
gave away a secret. This isn't really here.
It's actually not here. Actually, Dan's not here either. Dan is AI. It's AI Dan.
That's why, look at my hand. I've got all these extra fingers. There's my AI hand.
All right. Now, don't give away more secrets. AI Dan, what's going on today?
Welcome to CarYada. Today is Saturday, March 16th. It is going to be 70 degrees on Bainbridge Island.
Isn't that unbelievable? 70 degrees.
70 degrees. We're having a gorgeous week coming up, and I'm going out of town on Monday.
Yeah, I'm going out of town on Wednesday, but by then it'll be raining.
Yes. So you're the weather guy.
Yeah.
Yes, Adam. We just showed people how the sausage is made. This camera's been acting up today. We're trying to make a perfect setup. So next Saturday, no show.
That's right.
If I have time, I'll edit together a best of, and if not, we just won't do the show. But hopefully, you start watching us on the CarYada YouTube channel. Ray Pepper says, greetings from Palm Springs. I'm pruning up in a hot tub. Shrinkage, Ray, shrinkage. But yeah, so if you're watching us, we've got somebody watching the CarYada channel.
There you go.
If you're watch us on Facebook, this will be our last week on Facebook. I want everybody to watch on the YouTube channel. It's just as easy. It's actually easier. You don't have to log in or anything. You can just click on it and watch live.
Sure.
And it's amazing. So we need to build up our audience. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. Blah, 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 blah. During the week, by the way,
hit that button.
You can pound that, smash that, ring the bell.
Hit the brakes.
You can text us at any time. No, we're not in Pennsylvania. 610, it was the only one available. CarYada, 610 CarYada. And you can always email the show during the show. But if it's during the show, which is, 10:03 a.m.
Yes.
Just put something in the comments.
You can comment right away. We'll get that comment. We'll post it on the show. If you have a question, you can ask that question in the comment section. We'll do our best to answer it for you.
Adam is doing his job and watching on the CarYada channel.
Excellent.
We need to. Here's the reason. Here's what has to happen. Now, you're not supposed to put this out there, because I did a test post the other day on Facebook. And I purposely said, I'm trying to trick the algorithm.
Oh,
if you see this, like it, comment, and share. And I went on other pages, like the Eridan page. I went on the CarYada page, and I couldn't see it. And I posted it. It took an hour until my mom liked it. So finally, it showed up in her feed.
Well, now let's be fair. Moms have at least 10 times the amount of algorithmic power.
They do.
So
my mom sees. Sometimes she'll like a feed more glitching in the matrix. Sometimes she'll like a post before I even finish posting it.
Let me make an adjustment to AI Dan here. Click, 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 click. Okay, there we go.
Much better. Yes, and we're trying to boost the algorithm. So we'd love to get CarYada to become a monetized channel. Do you know what a monetized channel is?
Please explain it to the people.
Once you have 1,000 subscribers,
1,000
subscribers.
Wow.
And 4,000 hours of watch time.
Wow.
And that's not 4,000 hours of content. That is an hour watched 4,000 times, a half hour watched 8,000. You have to have that. Then you become monetized. So every time hey, Noah Davis is here, Ray's friend in Palm Springs. Are you in the hot tub with Ray?
He could be watching with Ray.
Ray is a great guy. We were just having a conversation beforehand talking about some arbitration at auctions with Ray on the phone.
We'll get to that a little bit later.
Right now we're trying to so like us at CarYada on YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff. Comments help.
Yes.
You have to interact. It's got to be interaction. If we can get this channel monetized, then what will happen is we can start doing better and nicer shows. We can go places. We can maybe go to some of the big auctions, and we'll have a budget because YouTube technically will be funding part of our show. The ad revenue would actually come back to us. We're trying to build this into a little side hustle. We've been doing the show for 4 years. Do you realize that?
It's 4 years?
It's been 4 years we've been doing the show.
Actually, we've been doing it longer than that because we did it pre-pandemic.
We did the 12 episodes over in Seattle.
We did the radio show in Seattle, and then
we did Clutch Radio.
4 years. That's a lot of episodes weekly.
Yeah.
That's over 200 episodes.
We've done a lot. Yeah, the old Clutch Radio.
Yeah.
Was that the logo? No, that's the first logo from this. I don't think I have the logo from that one.
Well, that's the one at the top that's on the shirts.
That was the second logo.
Okay.
And then we had the highfalutin logo.
Yes, the highfalutin.
So this is if you look up here, that's the first logo we did online.
Yep.
Then we went to that logo.
Yep.
And then we did that logo with the shirts. And then I did, when you weren't here, because you were missing some shows.
Oh, that's right. I was going to California.
I started the CarYada name then. Look how that's evolved.
Yes.
From that to that.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
And then Eric did the highfalutin one. And then we have our See Ya.
There you go.
So yeah, so we are CarYada. He's Raffi. I'm Dan. Every week, now that we're finally starting 7 minutes in, we come in and we not every week, we won't be on next week. We come in and we talk about buying, selling, trading, leasing, credit, repairing, collecting, anything that have to do with cars, we talk about. And last week we had a long conversation about, should I lease another car? Should I get a beater and just put all my money into that and have a daily driver that's a fun car? Or what? And I realized this week I'm probably going to lease a Toyota Prius in May.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yes, because Josh needs a summer car.
Oh, so who gets the...
So he'll drive the Prius for the summer.
Ah.
And then when my lease is up and he goes back to school, then I'll take the Prius.
I see.
So the Prius will be my daily driver.
So you return the
And then I'll return the Polestar in September.
All right.
And that way the Polestar also gets less miles put on it during the summer.
Have you picked colors, options?
Silver or white.
Wow.
No more black.
No more black.
I got to be done with black.
Okay.
Black.
It'll stay cleaner longer. That's one of the biggest problems with black cars. Black cars are hard to keep clean, regardless of the climate you're in. They show every little speck of dust. Even after you come out of the car wash with it, within 10, 15 minutes, that car's got dust on it. It's picked up road grime. It's picked up a little spray from somebody washing their windshield in front of you.
Yeah.
Black cars are very hard to keep clean.
Yeah. And the other problem with the black car is, well, the nice thing with the black cars, when they are clean, they look the best.
They do look good.
Blue, I would have thought if they had a different color blue. And our friend Neil has a blue Prius. I don't have a matching car with somebody I know. But I think silver or white, I'm going to go with the plug-in prime version. And it's weird. If you do the SE, the base model, it gets 41 miles on a charge. If you do the XSC, whatever, XFL, XM series radio, that one gets 36 miles. It gets 5 miles less. And I think the reason is the glass roof.
Oh,
I think the glass roof, I'm guessing it's heavier.
Well, glass is heavier than steel, generally speaking.
But they do have a glass solar panel roof.
Oh.
That actually does charge some of the ancillary items. It keeps a 12-volt battery, and I think that's the one I'm going to get.
Okay.
I'm going to go all in. I'm going to get the nicest one possible.
Excellent. Now, with the other thing you might notice on black cars, especially contemporary black cars, the glass and body look more similar. So what happens is you end up seeing the entire vehicle form as a single form, whereas you get contrast with a silver or light metallic or mid-tone metallic or white car, you get to see the glass line more so. Now, in the Prius, the new one has a pretty aggressive glass line and shows off the upper against the lower part of the car. But if you get a black Prius, it's going to look very, very different because that glass line all but disappears on the car. So it's kind of interesting to think of color of the car you choose based on how it impacts the design.
Yes. And now let me pull up a picture real quick to prove my point of how nice the silver. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that silver looks great. Now look at the contrast in the glass line. That nice tapered silhouette as it pulls back and gets tight after the center line of the rear axle, that elongates the car. It makes it look longer than it actually is, which helps with a tighter car, tighter size car. Also, look at that bottom cut line coming off the rocker panel and rising up quickly. It rises up above the top of the rear wheel line and goes up and joins up to the rear of the car. This also gives the car a forward focus so that when you're looking at the car, even standing still, it looks like it's going fast. Now there's a black car. Now you see, you don't get that as strongly as you do in a lighter colored car. Instead, the car looks more massive. It looks more like a single form, but also looks smaller, more compact.
Yeah. And what I love too is the back door handle. It looks like a coupe almost. You got a handle there, but then there's no handle going back on the body line.
That's right. And here too, what they've done is really, really nice is without that second door handle on the side, it not only makes the car look a little more sporty, but it also takes your eye off of that detail and instead it hides it in the glass line.
Yeah. So it looks a little bit like a coupe.
It does.
Or a coupe, as they say.
Coupe.
So yeah, so this is probably what I'm going to get. I'm just going to lease one of these for 2 or 3 years. It'll be my third Prius.
Your third Prius? You've had Prius before.
I've pre-eyes.
You pre-eyed.
I had an what year was that? 07. So it was the second series. Then I had it, and that was black. Then I had a 10 in blue. Now the 10 in blue, this is an interesting story about supply and demand.
Okay.
The Prius, the 2010 Prius I leased, I was in my lease about 5 months, and the big earthquake happened in Japan. And Priuses at that point were all 100% made in Japan. None of them were made here. And at the same time, gas hit $5. So I was getting emails and phone calls from Toyota dealers asking to buy my Prius back. And it was a lease. And when I realized that, I'm like, well, screw it. I'm going to get the Hyundai Genesis I've always wanted. So I went to the Hyundai dealer. The local Toyota dealer had offered me, the sticker was 22, I think, on the Prius. Definitely 25 grand for it.
Wow.
$3 grand over sticker, and I'm on a lease. So they're going to pay off my lease and give me a few bucks.
Wow.
And
good deal.
Yeah. And so I told them at the Hyundai dealer, they said, well, we'll take it because we could sell the car too. So they gave me 25 and I got into a brand new Hyundai Genesis for no money out of my pocket. And I think it was like $380 a month. It was super cheap for a $38,000 car. So I went up, my payment stayed almost the same. So it was pretty cool. Now Ray says, speaking of electric cars, if I can get the arrow over here, his friend Jake, we have a friend Jake.
Yes.
Your friend Jake travels the world, tells me in China it's all electric. Some company called BYD. BYD is a big company over there.
Yes.
It's bring your donuts. Makes a huge amount of cars along with Tesla. Yeah, BYD is huge.
Yes. I think BYD on a volume basis may be the largest automobile production company now in the world because they're making all kinds of cars, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of cars, and they are primarily electric. And keep in mind, infrastructure for manufacturing brand new electric cars, if you're not heavily embedded in gas powered vehicles with your production facilities, it's much easier to manufacture and jump into the electric market brand new. Yeah, there you go.
Here's some of their cars: the BYD Han, the BYD Tang, and the BYD Atto 3.
And these cars are all designed, every single one of their product line. It's a similar process to what Japanese did early on. They bring sampling of the top automobiles out there in the market. They purchase them and they bring them into the studio. They take them apart and they basically duplicate them with marginal changes to the overall vehicle design and, of course, component changes to suit their manufacturing. They look very similar. They act very similar, but they are not similar at all from a quality and production standpoint. And the type of use in China is very different from the type of use for a vehicle like this in the United States.
Speaking of the United States, this is actually one that's built for America.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start doing some American.
Yeah.
BYD USA officially goes on sale.
Yeah. They're
Wow.
coming here. And look, this happened with Japanese, what they called the Japanese invasion in the 70s and early 80s. And then Hyundai with their Korean manufactured cars. It hasn't happened with India and Indian manufactured cars, but there's some amazing automobiles being manufactured in different parts of the world. And of course, China is coming here no matter what with automobiles. The question is, will they be able to stand up to American roads, American drivers, and the use case associated with American cars? Something that's not known very well, but in the automotive world, Americans are regarded as the worst customer for a vehicle because they're very, very hard on their cars. There's a completely different perspective on vehicle ownership in Europe and in Asian countries. Do you know in Japan, after your vehicle is a certain age, you can no longer drive it? It has to be,
Wow.
yeah.
That's how it is with your parents too.
With repairs.
No, your parents.
Oh,
Once you hit a certain age in Japan, they just.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but
so BYD is sponsoring the Europe Cup or whatever that is.
Yep.
BYD stands for Build Your Dreams.
Yeah. And they do make some very good looking cars, but they are derivative of designs of existing cars. And the longer you study them, the more you can sort of see.
This looks like a Mazda 6 almost.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Tesla.
Yeah, this has some of the Lucid visuals as well. It doesn't take long before you start to see what's going on with the vehicle designs. I don't know anything about the quality of their software or hardware, but I can tell you that the majority of their products are going to struggle under American use because that frequently happens. You remember the Yugo?
Oh, Yugo. Yes, from Yugoslavia.
Yes, the Yugo.
It was so bad the country's gone now.
Well, yeah, the Yugo was actually a good car for small cities where you didn't drive the car for 40, 50 minutes on the highway at 60 miles an hour, because that will ruin a car that's not properly prepared for those kinds of regular uses.
And you guys are valuable now.
They become
like people
valuable.
collect them.
Yeah, they become really good, nice, original condition ones. Can be up to $10,000.
And they were what, 1999?
Oh no, way before that.
No, the dollar amount, $39.95. They were super cheap.
They were super cheap. You're right.
We're having a lot of miscommunication today. First, I said parents, and you said repairs.
Yeah.
It's the Matrix. VinFast is another company out of Vietnam that is really trying hard to make it. $429 a month for the VF8, 36 month, no money down.
Yeah. Now, if you look at this car and you put it, park it next to a Honda CR-V, you'll see exactly where the design came from. That's basically a Honda CR-V that's been rearticulated in the surface, the overall surface work on the body. And then who knows what the interior looks like, but I can almost guarantee you it's very similar to the Honda CR-V. These most contemporary automobiles now are within millimeters of dimensions, exterior dimensions. You compare these cars in these specific classes. Yeah, that's it's
unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. These kinds of visual pinch points now at the C post, A being the windshield, B being where the doors connect, and C being where at the C post, that C post articulation has become kind of a point of visual dynamics that people are drawn to. So it can be controversial as long as you're drawn to it, because then it becomes memorable.
What do you think of that interior?
It's not bad. It's very well done. It's nicely executed. The materials are very nice. Materials choices are nice. But again, it's easy to make an interior look beautiful in a photograph.
Are you losing your voice?
Excuse me, a little
You
bit.
might have to stop early today.
It's easy to make
Raffi can't talk. The
where
show's over.
are we? So it's easy to make a car look beautiful in photographs, and it's also easy to sell you a brand new car.
Yeah.
The interior will wear very, very quickly in your car if the materials aren't high quality and aren't built for durability. And you see that. You can see that, like, for example, in early Hyundais from the 90s, within 3-4 years, the materials on the interior just didn't stand up.
Now, this goes 0 to 62. I'm guessing they do that because is that 100 kilometers?
Yes, it's the converted rate of kilometers on the measured amount. So they go to 62.
All right. And so 6.5 seconds with 402 horsepower. That seemed really slow.
Well, it's
not a lot of torque on this car.
It's slow compared with some of the figures we're seeing for vehicles like this nowadays, but that's still an incredibly fast vehicle for something that's probably going to weigh, I would guess, maybe close to 6,000 pounds.
$79,000 for the eco version. 85. I mean, who's going to pay $85,000 for a brand you've never heard of?
Yeah.
Like that was a secret. I think Toyota did it. They were super cheap when they and Honda, and then they became expensive. Hyundai and Kia were like super, super cheap. I remember when I got my my first Hyundai was the XG350L or GX, whatever the number was. It looked like a cheap Jaguar. And it was $27,000 was the sticker price. And you couldn't buy a Honda Accord equipped like that for 27 at that point. So it was a bargain.
Right.
And when you do a car for 3 years, you do a lease or something, then you're going to be, typically you'll be okay.
Well, remember when Lexus came out in 89 and they offered the LS400, it was $32,000 car. And I remember thinking, because I was working for Toyota and working in the Lexus division, I remember thinking, who's going to buy a Toyota for $32,000?
Yeah.
And boy, I was wrong, because people ended up spending even more for them when they came out.
Now this is the one I would get, although I haven't seen that option.
I have not seen one with a red interior.
If I could do white with the red interior, I'm all over that.
That's
white. A stunning looking car.
It absolutely is. White with red interior was one of the most popular selling color combinations in the United States in the 60s.
We talked about this last week, I think.
Yeah,
that's what I'd love to find, a white with the red interior. Black with the red interior is nice too, but white with the red interior, you can't do red with any other color, I feel. If you do it with blue, it looks like it's like you're trying to be way too patriotic.
Well, that's an Italian color combination, actually.
Oh yeah, because your car has that reddish seats.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, see, notice on the interior, they dropped the red on the bottom section. So the bottom side of the door panel is molded black plastic, which is better for scuffs and marks and things like that. But it's also better for manufacturing, because you can have the entire bottom section of all door sections one color only. So you save some money with your tooling and color costs.
Well, there you go. Now, if you have questions, you can post them in the comments.
Yes, you can.
We did not do an old school last week.
So
I'm wondering if we should do that now, or if we should prepare. We do have a car of the week from Ray.
Let's do the car of the week.
All right.
We'll do that first, and then we'll go to old school.
Okay. Well, then I got to pull this all up still. Now, Ray did text me over one. We were talking a little bit about auctions and how arbitration works. Where did the arrow go? There
Some technical difficulties.
Ray Pepper, here he is. He sent me another live picture. Jeez, Ray. I can't share live pictures.
Oh, look at that.
Let me see if I can share it somehow. And I'll do it this way. I'll convert the picture really quick, Ray.
Oh, screenshot.
Do a screenshot and then throw it into my notes, into a new note, and we'll share it. We'll do it live. Yeah, that's right, Adam.
Doing it live. All right, let's see how we get this one working.
I should be able to go like this.
You got the info on this?
It's there we go.
All right.
Now we can share it. I do have the info. Where's the present button? This is, you're seeing how like
this is you're
really seeing how the sausage is made. Oh wait, we didn't even do our little hold on.
Oh, we got to do the
Gotta
car
do
of the
the
week
bumper.
bumper.
Gotta have a
Yes.
bumper. All right, so our car of the week
Car of the week.
coming to us from Ray Pepper, who's sitting in a hot tub in Palm Springs
With Jake.
with or without Jake. We're not sure. They haven't confirmed, but they haven't denied.
That's true. There's been no denial.
This is the car. Look at that beauty.
That's a nice car. Now, these are great cars. Contemporary. What you get with this car is actually pretty fantastic. You get ABS brakes, disc brakes all around. You get a peppy little engine that's fuel efficient, comfort for 4 people. And this is a very, very basic car, but this will run forever if you keep it regularly serviced and maintained.
But they do sometimes have transmission issues.
They can. Certain models will have
if it's got the
CVT.
CVT,
Yeah.
continuously variable transmission.
Yes.
Now this has only 52,000 miles on it. It's a 2015.
And it's not a CVT model, is it?
I think it probably is. I think
Is it?
I think all of theirs are.
Okay.
I don't know. Ray, is it? You'll tell us.
Yeah.
Now this has heated leather.
Oh.
It's got upgraded seats. Obviously, it was just serviced.
Just serviced.
Not a good thing to say, Ray. It's very generic. What does it mean?
What does it mean?
It does have brand new tires. What I would say instead of just serviced is fresh oil change.
Yeah, or you could say recent oil change.
Just change the oil and filter, put on new tires.
Yeah.
And
You could say service records available.
yes. Do you know the price? Did I tell you the price?
You did not tell me the price.
What would you guess? Now these are plus fees, so you have to pay your tax, your license, your registration, all that fun stuff.
What year?
This is a 2015 with
15.
52,000 miles and
Wow.
a clean title. And Ray does say runs like heaven.
Runs like heaven.
Runs like heaven, says Ray.
I'm going to guess 6,900.
And it drives like a dream.
Drives like a dream.
You're low.
I'm low. I figured I would be low.
Adam's guessing 6,000. He's also low. He
Yeah.
didn't hear you say 6,900 yet. So anybody else in the comments other than Ray, obviously, want to guess what we're looking at? 2015.
2015 with 8.
It's got nice wheels.
Yeah, maybe I'd go 75.
Now Adam says 85. Boy, he went way up.
Yeah, he did.
Right in the middle, $8,000. You can have this car plus tax and license.
That's not bad for $8,000.
So you can email show@caryada.com. We'll put you in touch with Ray. You can text us also.
And
Put you in touch with Ray.
it's got the leather interior,
Leather, yes.
and heated seats. That's good. It's probably got some other options as well that help it out. But look at the headlights, for example. They're not cloudy, which is nice.
They look a little cloudy, but I think the whole car is a little misty.
Look at the picture.
I'm
Oh, I'm
looking
looking
at
at
the
that one. You're looking at this one. This one looks cloudy, but the one up there doesn't.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Wow.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Either way, recently serviced.
Recently serviced. Ask for those service records.
Yes, and Ray can help you out with all your automotive needs. All right. So please, again, like I've mentioned, give us a like.
Give us a like.
Just
Slap that like button.
do something. We
Do
do this show for
something.
free, for crying out loud. A like, a comment, a share.
Do you know what it's like
It
for
does
us
so
to
much.
wake up in the morning and come to the studio?
And we're in a studio.
We're not going to beg you.
Oh, we're begging.
We're begging.
If you have any questions before Raffi does old school, you can put them in.
And also, if
the
you
comments.
have an old school that you'd like me to cover,
Yes.
send it in. Get me to talk about it. I'll do some research while I'm sleeping, and we'll do some old schools for people who have cars that they'd really like to hear
Raffi
about.
has forgotten more about cars than I'll ever know.
It's a constant barrage of information that is stored up there. And as I explained to someone the other day, it's largely useless cocktail party information unless you're with a bunch of other car guys.
Yeah. And even then.
Yeah.
So yeah. So let's get some old school in.
All right.
And we'll find out what Raffi's going to talk about today.
All right, today we're going old school, and we may have gone old school on this before because it is one of my favorite cars. It's a long forgotten car, but it's a reminder that at one time America built one of the most impressive four-cylinder fuel economy minded automobiles. They did it with some of the most innovative technology. And so I'm going to start you out, Dan, with asking you the question: what was the first American production car that had four-wheel disc brakes?
The four-wheel disc brakes.
Yeah.
You're not going to say Studebaker Avante, are you?
No,
No,
that had front-wheel disc brakes as standard, and that was 1963. This car goes back to the 1940s.
it had four-wheel disc brakes.
Four-wheel disc brakes, American built. Listeners out there that might know, you're certainly welcome to pop your answer in the chat. But we're going to linger on that thought for a minute.
Couple clues.
All right.
Is this brand still being made?
This brand is not being made.
That
But
helps.
here's another set of clues. Not only did they manufacture automobiles, they manufactured radios, refrigerators, and other household appliances.
The Frigidaire.
They were everywhere in the United States. They owned a substantial portion of the radio market. And when they started building automobiles before the war in the late 30s, their engines were made of pressed sheet metal, just like refrigerator engines.
Not Ford.
Not Ford.
It's not a Model T.
And they advanced after the war, and they built a cast iron block four-cylinder engine.
We're talking about a Kaiser.
No. You're in the right realm. But this is a car. This is a car, Ali. This is a car that got 40 miles to the gallon in 1950.
Hudson.
And it is the Crosley.
The Crosley. Yes. The Crosley radios, of course.
Crosley radios. The Crosley was one of the most amazing automobiles built in the late 40s, early 50s. They had an entire market range. You could get a Crosley sedan, a Crosley station wagon. You could get a Crosley pickup truck. You get a Crosley panel delivery vehicle, and you could get one of my favorites and the car that I learned to drive on, the Crosley Hot Shot. There's the Crosley
That looks
sedan.
like a toy.
It does look like a toy. Tiny little wheels and tires, four-cylinder engine, 22 whopping horsepower out of 750 cc's, but manual transmission, lots of fun to drive. These were not, enormously fast, but they were so efficient and so reliable that the Crosley was one of the cars to win their index of performance in the international race held at Sebring.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Crosley automobile, fantastic car. You can purchase one today as a collector. You can buy one that needs restoration if you want to work on the car. They're very, very simple. You can buy one that needs restoration for around $5,000. I used to buy them all the time. At one point, I had 5 of them. I don't think I paid any more than $100 for any of them.
Wow.
They're very small cars, so you can park 3 in a single space of a garage, but they're very inexpensive. If you wanted to buy the best one you could possibly find and you bought the Hot Shot, which is a convertible that has no doors, you just hop in, it's a roadster, you might pay $20,000 for a nicely restored one. Crosley Hot Shots are the highest priced ones that you would find, but the sedans and the wagons, and I think the wagons are really cute. They've got fake wood sides, and they've got the interiors are actually kind of fun. Very, very basic. I had a pickup truck that I had over at my buddy's gas station, and it was stolen. And they stole it by 4 people picking up the pickup truck and putting it in the back of a pickup truck and driving away with it. That's how small a Crosley is. Now you can see at the top of that, that's the earlier model one, the white one in the black and white photo at the top of that picture. That's the 1939 model, the pre-war version that had the sheet steel engine. This one I think is a 1950 or 51. That's a Crosley wagon.
51.
Yeah, nice looking car. Great 50s colors. easy to use, inexpensive to own. You're not going to break any speed records driving them, but they're tons of fun and a part of American history that people forget. We used to lead in that industry with one of the most fuel efficient automobiles ever built. Disc brakes, overhead cam, easy to use. The Crosley sedan, wagon, or hotshot.
There you go. Here's
Yeah.
here's one for sale.
Yep.
$13,900.
13.9. There you go. And it's probably beautifully restored, ready to go. You'll have a ton of fun with it. Where else are you going to get a vintage 50s car ready to go, ready to enjoy? Looks like it's got wicker put onto the sides there. That gives you a different look, which is kind of fun. See if you have an interior shot, you can share some of those. So there's the stowage compartment in the back.
What'd you call it?
Stowage.
Stowage.
Stowage. Yeah, and there's the interior. Very simple, very basic. One of the options they had was a radio, and that was it.
There it is, right there.
Yeah,
AM
radio, and just very, very basic, simple car, easy to own, easy to operate. You're not going to pay a lot for them. There was a company that made reproduction parts for Crosley's, and they sent their list of parts to me, and I don't think there was a single part for sale on there for less than or for more than $10.
What's this?
That's a Scorpion. Now,
it says that. See, I should read.
Scorpion was a fiberglass body that you could buy in a kit, and you'd take the steel standard body off of the frame because they were body on frame. Very easy to do, by the way. And then you mount the Scorpion body on the Crosley chassis, and you can put your own interior in. You can do other details and things. And I had a Scorpion as well. And they're actually lightweight. The fiberglass bodies were maybe 75, 80 pounds.
Wow.
And when you took the 200 pound steel body off, you had some significant weight savings. And if you went to a fellow named Nick Brajevich in Long Beach, California, he would sell you some high performance items for that engine, so you could get up to 50 horsepower out of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't trust somebody that has a garage this clean.
Now, when Crosley went out of business in 1953, 54, their engine continued on. Lou Fagel bought the tooling.
Oh,
Lou
Fagel.
And made the Fagel engine, which went on
sexual.
to be the Aerojet engine, the Bearcat engine, and the Homelight, which powered some of the most successful small bore hydroplane boats, and also went on to power the Jeeps. And you can see there's a Crosley, click on the green one there. That's called the Farm or Road, which was a vehicle that you could use.
That's a golf cart.
On the farm or the road, the Farm or Road. And you can see that it looks, as Dan says, it looks like a golf cart. Yeah, it absolutely is a golf cart size. But again, lots of fun, lots of variety with the Crosley model line. And you're just not going to find or see one anywhere else. I guarantee if you take it to a car show, you'll be the only one there.
At the car show?
With
the only Crosley.
With a Crosley.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that reminded me, at the bottom of the page, there was, I don't know if it's still going to be serving that ad. It's not. It was showing up Harbor Freight tools.
Oh, yes. Harbor Freight.
And we've never really talked about Harbor Freight, have we?
Well, we haven't. And I know some people that work at Harbor Freight.
Oh,
and
at store level or at the corporate level?
No, corporate level.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Mr. Harbor, Mr. Freight?
I do know Mr. Harbor. He's actually a very, very good guy. He does a lot of philanthropic work and independently owned. He's not publicly held or publicly traded.
Is his name Harbor, actually?
No, I can't recall.
Why is it called Harbor Freight?
I believe because the stuff that they bought and brought in came in via Harbor Freight. So it came into the harbor and it was freight delivered. And I think it started out as sort of bulk purchase
Eric Schmidt.
independence. Eric Schmidt, that's it. Yeah.
And his father, Alan, would start Harbor Freight Tools, a small building in North Hollywood, California,
Yep.
1977. That's right at your
Right.
like you're starting your whole design work, and
Yep.
building your car.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they were just a tool warehouse.
Yeah.
They have Pittsburgh brand, which I always thought was cool.
Mhm.
A lot of their stuff is crap.
Well, a lot of their stuff is low cost, low quality, because people that start out using tools, this is their philosophy. They generally don't know how to use tools. And so they tend to abuse those tools as they learn. So as you advance and learn a little bit more, you can go ahead and buy higher end tools. If your income is dependent on those tools, then you're going to be more selective. You're going to get certainly higher quality tools. But Harbor Freight offers a tremendous amount of mid-level quality product. You have to select carefully, but they actually do have some pretty good product for mid-level home mechanics or hobbyists. I don't recommend them generally for professional tools, but they do have a professional line, and those are a little bit more expensive as well.
Those are the Pittsburgh Plus.
Is that what
I don't know. I always, a lot of people think Harbor Freight is, they're like, well, it's cheaper than renting. Like sometimes if you need a specialty tool,
yeah,
and you don't have it, you buy it from there. You might only use it once, because if you use it twice, it breaks. But the one time you need it, it's there. And I can't go in there without getting a bunch. I mean, you can see there's a bucket over there.
Yes.
All those orange cases are from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
All my storage cases, my big black storage case.
These are good quality cases. They're durable.
They always show guns on these. These are like gun cases, but I use them for cameras and other various things.
These are great for all kinds, and these are probably a third to maybe half the price of other comparable cases.
More than a third. A Pelican case like that is probably $200.
Yeah.
And I think that was $39.
Yeah. So there you go.
And it does its job.
Yeah.
It does what it needs to do.
So again, if you're going to buy through Harbor Freight, buy selectively, do some experimenting, see what you got. But it's, if you buy, for example, a pad or a stack of 200 sanding discs for your sander, you could get for substantially less than you would from a company, a brand company. And okay, you might go through those sanding discs faster than you would the others, but the cost associated with it, I think, makes a difference, especially for home hobbyist users.
So I'm going to pull this picture up real quick. This is, so originally it's called Harbor Freight and Salvage.
Yes.
Is what they were called in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
And this ties in beautifully. So we can identify the cars.
Oh, there you go.
There's the original storefront.
That's a square back Volkswagen, probably a 74 or 5.
Yeah, a couple of pickup trucks.
Yeah. So 68 or 69, and then a 70.
You can look at it right here too.
Oh, there we go. I'm trying to...
So with 2 monitors.
Yes, that's very, very technical. Yeah, and that looks like probably mid to late 70s there.
Well, 77 is when they launched, so this is probably early
78,
on.
79. Yeah.
Were you at this location?
I've been to that location, not in 79.
Wow.
I went in the early 80s. It wasn't far from my home.
Wow.
And I believe when we were building the car, I believe I bought a bunch of stuff there, because even back then, they were very inexpensive compared with buying at other places. That is a photo we are not going to share.
Well, it's weird because it looks like it
looks Photoshop, like photobombed.
Well, it also looks dirty.
Dirty.
Because he's got that shaved head. It looks like something else. What?
Oh my goodness. That's
Ray.
For those of you, that's Ray who sent the photo of him in the jacuzzi in Palm Springs. It must be 85, 90 degrees in Palm Springs already.
Our good friend Glenn
So that was old school, which segued into
Harbor
Freight Tools. Yeah. So there you go. And I probably wrenched on my Crosley using Harbor Freight Tools. The first engine I rebuilt, I was 19. Well, no, that wasn't the first one. I actually built a Briggs & Stratton single piston lawnmower engine for my go-kart. But the first car engine I rebuilt was the Crosley.
All right. Now we do have Ray Pepper has a Stump Raffi and Dan question.
Okay.
So before we do that, of course, we have to play.
And now it's time to Stump Raffi.
All right.
There we go. What do you got, Ray? Let's see if you can stump us or anyone else in the comments. Anybody that's checking out CarYada. By the way, if I haven't mentioned this before, please go onto CarYada on the YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/@CarYada.
Okay.
youtube.com/@CarYada. Go there, subscribe, like, watch us there. We're not going to be on Facebook anymore. We're only going to be on that channel. We'll slowly wean you off of it. There you go.
All right.
Now, here's the question. Name 2 of the 3 new cars that depreciate the least according to Road and Track.
Road and Track. New cars. Wow. Okay. I'm going to go with they have to be specific cars or brands. I'll go with the brands first, and I'm going to go with
Well, that's easy.
Honda and Subaru as the 2 top brands.
I'm going to go Toyota as the top brand.
Okay. For depreciation.
They depreciate the least.
Depreciate the least, yes. And I'd go with the Honda CRV, and I'll go with the Subaru, not the Outback, what's the other one? The Kick something, I can't remember.
The WRX?
No. But I'll go with the Subaru Outback.
Jake says Super Duty diesel truck and the Porsche GT3.
So the Porsche GT3, that's certainly
a good answer. I don't know that they'll put. I mean, Road and Track may or may not have limited cars on there. These might.
Jake's on the right track
Both
with the
those
GT3.
are very right.
That's a very Porsche GT3s are very expensive when you buy them new, and I just don't know if they hold up to that number, because you have $150,000 to $200,000 GT3, and if it takes a 10% hit in depreciation, that's a substantial amount.
So, well, I think they're probably going by percentage.
Percentage of
they're probably going percentage. Okay. So Jake might be right, but I'm going to go. I think the new Toyota Prius is holding its value.
Okay,
extremely well.
All right.
So I'm going to say something Toyota, maybe a Lexus.
Okay.
Oh wait, number 3. Results are coming in.
Okay.
Steve Kornacki at the big board. Toyota Tacoma is number 3.
Toyota Tacoma is number 3.
That's the truck, not the city.
Okay.
Like I've always said, I'd love to buy a Toyota Tacoma, Toyota of Tacoma.
Okay. So that's the number 3 depreciated least vehicle is the Toyota Tacoma. So, all right. And that makes sense because Toyota on the leaderboard, no surprise there. I'm still banking on the Honda.
I don't think Honda's going to be on there. Porsche, it is. Just the 91, though.
The number 2 is the Porsche 91. No, it's going to be 911.
He missed one. Yeah. All right. I was like, what's the Porsche 91?
Porsche 911. So so Jake is also right because the GT3 is part of the 911 series.
Yep. All right. And number 1
is
here it comes. Number one.
The 911?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was number 2.
I'm sorry. I'm reading the leaderboard.
Seriously? The Jeep Wrangler?
Wow, that's the least depreciation?
Wow.
I would have never guessed that.
We're buying old used ones all the time over at Auto Trader, Private Seller Exchange, direct offer. We're buying those for super cheap right now. But I guess based on the new ones. So he's saying the newest one.
Wow.
That really, I mean, the residual is probably also based on the lease guides.
Yeah.
Because that's how they determine on a new car, when you lease it, what's it going to depreciate. So Raffi didn't get any right.
No, I didn't get any of them right. And,
that's weird.
That's also for 2024.
New cars, yes.
Yeah. Which is, there's the Wrangler on there. That's shocking to me.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have guessed that. The Porsche 911 was in the back of my mind, but then I dismissed it because I thought, well,
it's limited production.
They're pretty pricey. I think Toyota, Honda, and Subaru are pretty much up there. I'd be surprised to see maybe Ray has the numbers if Honda
I could pull them up probably
hit the leaderboard at all. But Jeep Wrangler, that's a surprise. Those Jeeps in general, people buy them and they discover that they're not what they imagined they would be, and they sell them rather quickly, which I think contributes to a higher level of depreciation. But who knows?
All right. Road and Track says new cars depreciate the least.
Okay.
Well, you have to view a gallery.
Oh dear. There's the
Jeep Wrangler
The Porsche was there.
loses 7.3%
All right.
of its value. Porsche 911
Okay.
loses 14.6% of its value in 5 years. Toyota Tacoma
Yeah,
loses 14.9%. Honda Civic, there's your Honda.
Okay.
16.3% decrease over 5 years. Subaru BRZ, was that
BRZ. That's the one I was saying. It's not the
because that's like the Toyota
right.
other 8 GR.
Yeah.
Not GR.
It's so hard to keep track
The
of.
Ford Mustang.
Oh, that's still
19.4%.
really good looking car.
It is a good looking car. Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
Nissan Versa. Perhaps the least interesting car here, but we can't blame it for showing up.
Yeah.
19.9% average over 5 years. Chevy Camaro.
Yeah.
Which is going to go away or has gone away.
They'll bring it back with an electric power. They'll figure out how to electrify the Camaro.
Those are the numbers.
There you are.
Speaking of numbers, do we want to even talk about gas? It seems like it's dipping a little bit.
A little bit, but
it's not that exciting to talk about.
It's more interesting after Easter because we start to see prices change as we enter into the summer.
Yes, and daylight saving time happened.
Yes, it did.
And there's no S in it. It's not savings.
That's right.
And it's also not Nordstrom's.
Right.
Now, there's a whole interview somebody did, and they talked about where it came from.
Daylight saving
time. And a lot of it had to do, people all think that it had to do with farmers and kids going to school.
Yeah.
But actually the golf industry argued for it. Golf, because golf courses, that extra hour, because people would golf after work.
I thought that the reason it came about was because of the energy crisis in the 70s and became nationalized to save.
It happened actually during World War II.
That's the first time they initiated it.
And they say Ben Franklin. I mean, there's so many stories of daylight saving time. And we're currently in daylight saving time now.
But I don't feel like I'm saving anything.
No.
There's never any saving to me.
And somehow my dogs, 5 a.m. is 5 a.m. no matter what
time.
No matter what time is outside, they can read the clock.
We should pay more attention to our dogs. What does Adam have to say?
Adam says that gas has gone up so fast in a month's time. It went from $3.49 to $4.05.
Yes,
that's
he is
true.
right.
We're heading into the summer season, so that's going to happen, and election season.
Yes, that always drives gas prices up.
Yeah. Ray sent another image. Oh, just the Jeep Wrangler image.
There you go.
So
look, we could talk about gas prices, but even though it's seen a spike, it's going to be interesting to see where it settles out. I predict mid $4 range by the summer.
People just want to hear this.
How much is gas where you live?
There you go.
How much is gas where you live?
Yeah, gas is going to keep going up. We have no control over it. The president has no control over it. And the United States is actually creating more fuel now than ever in history.
Which is why you want to buy a Crosley. It's American built. It's
they don't make them anymore.
That's true. They don't. But you're not going to be depleting resources when you buy a used car.
Oh.
You're going to be filling it with gas, but you're going to enjoy 40 miles to the gallon with it. But be mindful, it has no crumple zones, it has no seat belts, it has no ABS, it has none of that stuff. So you're basically, as Dan said, driving around.
Adam's going to go with 475 this summer.
475 this summer. I think in some areas it'll definitely be 475, but I'm pretty sure it'll be 450 by the summer. Seems like that's where it's heading.
You were not at Cars and Coffee yesterday.
I was not.
And our good friend Ty brought by his 1935 Packard.
Yeah.
And our Kathy, Rob's wife, got into the rumble seat.
Oh.
How people didn't just get decapitated in those things. There's, I mean, it's like a sharp metal edge.
Yes.
You're down in like this.
Yes.
No airbag, of course.
Well, what
And
you
you're
have,
driving in a car. You're basically hanging out of the trunk.
what you have to remember is that for the most part, when those cars were on the highway, there was very, very minimal traffic. And if there was traffic, you were driving so slowly, the chances of you being decapitated, as you said, driving around in there, very, very minimal. They were also spare seats. So for the most part, kids will ride in the back, and parents driving. You're going down a local farm road, you're going into town. You're certainly not exceeding 30, 35 miles an hour. They were not cars that you would get on the highway with two people in the rumble seat and drive 60 miles an hour for an hour or so.
All right.
So
Fair enough.
dangerous, absolutely. I don't recommend the use of a rumble seat, especially with children. Just like I don't recommend if you have a pickup truck that kids ride in the back of the pickup truck. But if you are driving slowly and you're in a secluded area or on a farm road or you're on your private property, the chances of significant injury are substantially reduced.
Yes. Now, Ray, we're going to end on Ray's, the topic we had earlier. He said, there's one thing I learned this week is that I will not buy any more cars that have to be pushed through the auction, even if they tell me it's just out of gas. And on the CR, the condition report inspection, it says runs. People are after me because of my TikToks, I believe. Too many cars, I call it a piece of shit.
That could be. But listen, whenever a car doesn't run, and whether you're a dealer or not, you're taking significant risk when you go to purchase a car that doesn't start at the time. And it could just be the battery. It could just be that it's out of fuel. But nowadays, a car that has a dead battery or a car that is out of fuel, that can be more problematic than just putting gas in it. Because if you run a car dry with contemporary fuel, computer-controlled fuel for your electronic fuel injection, then you're going to have some challenges getting that system back up and running. Same thing with a dead battery. Dead battery means that some of the internal electronics are going to have to be reset. And if your car is older, you're going to have to go through some reset procedures that some dealers will charge you $150 to do. So you have to be careful if you buy a vehicle that doesn't run. Vehicle with flat tires, you can pump up the tires or you can buy new tires. But disclosed mechanical problems are much better to sort out in terms of your purchase.
Yeah. Now, when a car runs through a dealer auction, there are rules through the NAAA, the National Auto Auction Association. And Ray basically had the car. He's watching the auction. The auctioneer says, "Up, ran out of gas," as they're pushing it through, because the car obviously did run to get up to the lane. Because if it won't start when they're driving to the lane, they won't bring it through. They're not going to push it all the way from its parking space.
And they do keep the least amount of gas in these cars.
Well, this one had half a tank. No, they don't take gas at the car dealer auction. They do not take gas out of the tanks.
No, not take the gas out, but generally speaking, they do have a minimal amount of gas in them.
Well, I mean, whatever they show up in the auction is what they have. But yeah, if they have to put some in, they'll put a gallon in to get it to run through. But I think Ray's worried, conspiracy theory here, that the auction getting mad at him for doing his radical Ray TikToks. That guy in Florida that does all his TikToks, who's selling cars and flipping cars, that Ray has turned me on to. I would think he would piss off the auctions more than Ray does. But if it says runs, but it's a red light, nothing's guaranteed.
That's right.
Although Ray does have a good point, because the auctioneer, and they can go back and watch the tape. Every auction's taped. They can watch it and they can hear him say, ran out of gas, folks. That means it did run up to the lane. It should still run and drive. Ray should get his money back on that car.
Adam has a comment.
Yes, we'll end on this, because I saw Adam put this in, and I'm like, I remember the good old days. He saw a DeLorean in pristine condition in Bellingham last week. By the way, most DeLoreans you see will be in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Just you're not going to see it, because if it's still out there, the owner takes good care, and it's stainless steel. They don't rust.
They don't rust.
So they all look pretty damn good.
And they're actually a better quality stainless steel than the new Cybertruck. The new Cybertruck has some real quality issues with their stainless steel. Now,
Adam did say, he asked the guy if he ever tried to go 88 miles an hour. Really, Adam? How long have you known me? dude, no. And you see, at least he says he knows it was lame. This is why I got rid of my DeLorean.
Too many people asking.
I
you.
would go to the gas station. It would take an hour to get gas because I'd have to answer all the questions, the lame ones. And I started just acting, I don't know what they're talking about. Does that go 88 miles an hour? Well, I'd say, the speedometer goes to 85, and I've got it close to it, so probably. And they'll go, oh, was there any cocaine in it? I go, no, why any cocaine? Hey, is Doc Brown around? Who's Doc Brown? No, my it's not my doctor's name. And they go, you got a flux capacitor, which I actually did have one.
You did have a flux capacitor.
And I go, no. They go, what's that? I go, oh, I don't know. That came with it. What is it called? Flux capacitor? What?
Wow.
And they go, travel through time? And
Yeah.
No, I don't know how to do that.
Yes, I traveled back in time just so I could get cheap gas, and then I came back here. But it takes a full tank of gas to get back if you're traveling.
The best one is my license plate was fluxing.
Yes.
And people say, oh, well, your license plate's fluxing. Of course you know Back to the Future. I'm like, no, I have acid reflux. That's the fluxing.
There you go.
All right. So we'll end on that. Thank you, Adam, for helping me have an ending.
And remember, we will see you not next week, but the week after, because both Dan and I will be out of town. Dan, you're going to DC?
I'll be back.
Oh, you'll be back.
I'll be back.
Right.
I come back Friday. I'll be in Atlanta all week.
Ah, okay.
At Cox Automotive headquarters.
I won't be back. I will be in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ann Arbor.
Yep. Ann Arbor.
During the week, if you want to text us, send it to 610 CarYada. Why don't you text that number right now and see what happens? 610 CarYada is our text line.
All right.
And you can ask us questions during the week. You can give us suggestions for cars we can do for old school and all that fun stuff. Adam says safe travels because we're both traveling. And Raffi and I can never travel on the same plane at the same time. It's like the president and vice president. One of us is the designated survivor. All right. Well, that's the show. We do have our closing now. We did have it updated. Eric never put that other one in here, did he? No, he didn't. Good. By the way, if you want, we can have this. That's not it. What was it called? Oh, it's this one. No.
What are you looking for?
Oh, it's right here. So we have the actual music.
And I can't hear that music all night.
But what's amazing is this is the extended version. Listen to this.
It's like bad Miles Davis.
Boom, 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 boom. Got the bass line.
It's got the muted trumpet. He's probably playing it with one of those plungers.
Yeah.
Toilet plungers over.
All right, that's the end of the show.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like an 8 train now all of a sudden. All right, goodbye.
Oh, my goodness.
We're still on.
Wait a minute.
Bye.